First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Charkandrick West. And now it's second down. From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. Again on second and 10, it's Griffin. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, and it'll bring up third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now an early third and 10 here on their opening drive. Play action. Now Griffin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up first and 10 at their own 22. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On second down, Griffin. And his throw here is incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Throwing now, Griffin on first down, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action. Griffin. Now look out. Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And this is going to be Packer football.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Packers. Bo Scarborough, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what are they?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Let's go, come on. Yeah, live. Green 19 to 9.
They go play action here on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quicker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
319. Yeah, live. 319.
On play action, Rodgers. And this is incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 4 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and it's third down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Set. 180.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field into a double team, and it's intercepted. Treston Decoud picks it, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Going to throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's go, come on.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Hey, check 26.
Now a play fake. Rodgers into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
West with a quick feed. He finds an opening past the 40. Charkandrick West, 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Charkandrick West, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. As an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. David Emerson able to bring him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check three, check three, check three. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Zebra! Tag 50, tag 50!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's West. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
21!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll try the air now with Stafford. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, go here! Zebra!
Okay, just like that.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
He's airing it out for Williams. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
58.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams.
Go.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Hey, we're not going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
He'll get it up the middle. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. The drive begins with a handoff to West. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Stafford. Forced out to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Like 7. 32.
Stafford on first down. Steps away to his left. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half. See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter. Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one. Has that happened to you before? No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it. Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated. Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him. Now Stafford. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
On the ball, on the ball. You got 4.
Now a first down throw. Stafford over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield. He reads defenses so well, doesn't he? He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target. I don't think so either. I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. To throw is Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation. So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him. And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer. Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here we go. 58. Now, don't let Kelly. Hey.
They'll start things on first down with Bo Scarborough. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try again with Scarborough. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the toss, there goes West. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, he motivates your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Throw left side complete. It's Hill. A very solid gain of 27.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Hey. You got 4.
That's fine. Yeah.
Hey. You got 3. You got
319.
It's Scarborough again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Jalen Reeves-Maben.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the hook up here with Jalen Strong complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is West. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. Jalen Strong, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start off with a give to Scarborough. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Hey, tag 50 left.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. From the 50, it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Zebra. Zebra.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. The drive starts on the ground with Scarborough. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Okay, Paul, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Hey, check 26.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
319.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Now Brown. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Stafford. Screenplay. Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Set. Waiting.
Now Stafford. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a third and long situation.
Watch 80. Watch 80. He likes to get those jump balls. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch twist. Watch.
Stafford now to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Packers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Where y'all going? Yeah, Liz. Green 19th and on us.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory. And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
22.
They'll look to throw. And running with power here. Gets it to Strong. And he's got this to the 30 before down. He got 12 answer for this.
They just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Maybe some temptation here to try to go for the win, but I think you got to kick the field goal.
I agree totally. When you look at the time left on the clock, that's not a spot where you take the gamble. Go ahead and kick the field goal here and take it from there.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation.
Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They've got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there in overtime. 45 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
And maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Hey, go here! Zero! 25!
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Detroit, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.